Hi, everybody. Welcome back to Arcane Architects, Episode 3 of Campaign 1. If you're just joining us for the first time, welcome. After this video, you can go back and watch Episode 1 and 2 to catch up, or just do it because it's fun. And all you wizards, warlocks, witches, and wanderers out there, good to see you again. We're back to joining our adventurers on their epic journey through Avendia and the Tunnels of Mystery. Let's begin, and let's get ready to roll. Yeah.
Joe just stands still. I'm bopping over here.
Just trying not to.
I don't enjoy things that are fun. I'm sorry.
Gosh, I love a flute.
Dude, I love a little xylophone at the end of anything.
Oh, man.
That's
Good
my
job,
next character.
guys.
He's going to have a xylophone with him 24/7.
Oh, hell yeah.
All right. Well.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, right.
That was an adult.
You good?
Throat
Alright.
clear.
I'm always good. Anyway, last time on Arcane Architects, we watched as our budding adventurers engaged with a group of peculiarly large humanoid skeletons carrying hefty mining picks and donning rusted and tattered armor. The group quickly sprung to action and dispatched these attackers, Lennox going a little magic crazy, nearly utilizing every ounce of her magical capabilities at her disposal, while Jax carefully observed the field and kept his allies safe best he can. Frey transformed into a large stone being and smashed the enemies to bits at every opportunity. With the battle over, the adventurers forged on into the caves, every so often feeling tremors off to the north. They moved through the tunnels and felt a draft coming from a large pile of rubble. Lennox quickly thought, why not, and just teleported to see what's on the other side, and with the risk came reward as she discovered a tunnel of worked stone on the other side. Frey and Jax, with Lennox's Move Earth cantrip, cleared the way and ventured through a tunnel where poor Dare, Frey's familiar, was poofed out of existence from a wall trap full of spears. The party carefully made it through and entered into a very large room, and in the center of this room loomed a lifeless, massive skeletal corpse sat upon an enormous stone throne. Frey moved up to investigate, and as Lennox grabbed the piece of the shiny black luminescent ore they were searching for, the giant skeleton awoke with purple flame in its eyes, and a battle ensued. Frey transformed yet again into his earthen form, and Lennox took off with the ore in hand, yelling, "Let's get out of here!" The party used all their skills and talents to try and escape the room, crashing into a few larger undead skeletal minions, taking plenty of hits along the way, but managed to escape through the trapped tunnel, avoiding the spikes, and made it all the way back to the tattered campsite where the first battle took place. This is where we begin as our adventurers start to stir from their long rests.
I need to defend myself really quickly. I am a level 3 sorcerer. You try to not use every magic spell you have in like 5 minutes. It's the only thing I have, and I don't have much. Thank you.
I didn't use all my spells.
Frey? Keep your...
Oh, so would you like the slow stare? Okay.
Okay.
Okay, we're
I'm intimidated.
stirring.
Just changing up the vibe here a little bit, perhaps.
Bring it. I love it.
Here we
I
go.
love a good vibe check.
All right, so
Cave.
you guys, I'm not sure who was on the last watch.
Frey.
Was it me?
Probably Frey.
Yeah, I think it
Because
took
he's a little
second.
Mr.
Probably.
Meditation over here.
I think
Yeah.
Frey did the extra watch with their meditation so they could do 2 watches.
And now during this watch, did you bring back there?
I did, yes.
Okay. Just throwing it out there.
Yeah,
Okay,
I did
so,
that right at the beginning where I threw the book out. Very kind of wrote.
Great. Awesome. Excellent. So, your watch goes by uneventful, quiet. You occasionally hear little tremors off in the distance. Doesn't seem, from what you can tell, doesn't seem like it's getting closer, further. It's just out there. And I'm gonna say, Jax, you kind of slowly start to wake up, naturally thinking like, all right, well, I don't think I'm gonna go back to sleep, so it must be time.
All
Feeling
right.
as energized as you can in a dark cave.
Yes. In just firelight and nothing else, and Dare.
Mhm.
And like, that's it.
Yeah, as you open
Alright,
your
so-
eyes, you see a little hovering like ball of fire, occasionally just moving around some rocks, disappears for a second, comes back out the other side.
So at one
Good
point,
to
it
see you again.
bumps into a rock and just then goes around it.
You look good. And then I start putting on my breastplate and getting my backpack set up and putting on my gloves, getting my shield, all that good stuff.
Prey's just kind of sitting on a rock.
Good
reading his spellbook.
morning, team. Very successful night last night. Feeling proud of ourselves. Feeling good.
Yeah, definitely. We survived something we maybe shouldn't have survived, but thanks to your instincts to get the heck out of Dodge, that really helped. You were really on point with that.
You have not
Probably do something about that.
So
Sorry, not your instincts. The situation.
No, those are spot on. But
Hmm.
question. So did we decide whether we would like to continue seeing? We know that skeleton guy is stuck. He couldn't follow us very far.
Seemed like he was stuck in some way.
Do we feel like it's worth it to continue checking out that path?
I mean, if we want to map out the complete cave and give people warnings about it, I think it could be worth it.
Yeah.
I say what we could do is we can see check out the rest of the cave, and then if there's no way to take care of that, maybe at least doing a better job of closing it off.
Sure. I mean, it seemed as if the entryway to the trapped hallway of worked stone was already kind of a little covered with stone, and it looked like it would be too small for that creature to get through either way. But yes, you're right, Frey. We could, maybe using some of your abilities, pack that area in so nothing could get through.
In or out. I don't want anyone to go in there and find that.
Sure. That's reasonable.
She's got her map supplies, pen ready.
Have you been doodling the
Oh yeah, I
system
think I
thus
said that
far?
last time. Yes, I even tried to take a little thing of the writing in the other room. She's doing her
How
darndest.
does your map look?
It's pretty good. She's pretty good at this. Is her passion is creating maps. It's what she wants to do with her life is to map out the continent because she thinks it's crazy that we don't know as much as we should. And so it looks pretty good. This is probably one of the things she's best at is drawing these maps.
And you and I both have a copy of the hieroglyphics that we saw, this weird language that we couldn't read. You also copied it down as well. I believe we both did. Which is great. That's useful. I'm gonna start getting a torch ready, I guess, from the fire, from what's left of the fire, light a torch and have that. And then get my shield and get Lola to stop patrolling. Lola, end patrol.
I think maybe just to give us an estimate of daylight, if the idea is that we're not going to be in here all day, that we want to spend some more time getting back home, and that this is not the focus. I think I'm going to do the druid craft just to see the weather outside, so we know hey, if it's raining or dark, we have probably less time to have light outside than we would normally.
Sure. So yeah,
Great.
you conjure your little sphere in your hand, and same static as always.
Just 1 second.
I hit the tuner, and a couple seconds later, a few moments, all of a sudden it kind of comes into focus, and it's kind of just presented as a clear orb, and a clear light blue color.
Nice. Okay, we got it. No rain today, you guys, so we have a little bit longer for light outside. We'll take our time exploring this before we head out.
Works for me.
Good news.
Awesome. I assume you guys gather your things, get ready to move on and start delving into this cave a little bit further.
Chho, gather your things. We are to be off.
Chho lands on your shoulder and just sits there and doesn't do anything.
He's ready.
And you guys have already been through this part of the cave, so to save some time in general, you already know which direction you're going. You've seen this place before. Maybe you're still a little careful, just looking around. But you eventually make your way over to that collapsed stone area where the cave-in originally was that you cleared a way out, and that's where you are right now.
And wasn't there, it was like the cave-in, if we're going down the path, the cave-in was on our left, and then there was more path straight ahead.
Yes, there was still what looked like a cave tunnel all the way to your like more straight ahead to the rightish of the caved-in area.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
All right. Well, should we keep heading that way?
Yeah. What's our marching order, team?
This would be the only way to really go at this point. I mean, I can go first if you like, but
I think you sent Dare
I can send Dare also.
with the fire to light
pretty
so
good
we can
scout.
see. That was helpful.
Yeah, we can do that.
Sure.
Yeah, and I'll send Dare first. I'm gonna keep a good eye out though for more traps that would kill him.
That's a good idea.
All right. Just for hahas, roll
cool.
me a perception check.
All of us or just
Who's going first?
Dare?
Well, then for Dare. And I guess for Frey as well, if Frey is close-ish
Did you want?
behind.
Oh, I guess yeah. Okay, let me get Dare. Hold on. I can do that.
Little Dare.
Not as good at perception. That's okay. Okay. 5.
He's
Okay.
just floating along.
Yep.
Contemplating death from yesterday. Dare's really ruminating on his
Really
life and who
introspective.
he is.
Seems a little off.
There's inner
Gotta, like,
monologue. It's
hey,
just like,
Hey,
is this my future?
Am I to die again and again?
Is this my destiny forever?
What
Oh,
is my
crap.
purpose? Yeah, so Dare just kind of floats by and doesn't, Dare itself does not see anything different than what previously was seen in this cave.
okay.
Sounds good. I trust him.
I'd say
Are
I
you
probably
guys-
let him stay about 20 feet ahead of me or so. And
Sure.
keep an eye. And I'll
You
send
just
him
float
Until
on ahead of
anything
you.
is
out.
perceived like a door or an archway or anything, I think we would keep going.
Yeah, so like I said, eventually you get to that same spot. You
Mhm.
carefully get there. So right, you see the cave, you see where the cave in is, where you cleared it, and then you see the cave ahead of you.
Mhm.
So this is where you are at the moment.
Okay. I'd like to be looking for traps also, if that is
Okay, well,
possible.
then also roll me a perception check then.
Sounds good. An 11. Not great, but it
Man.
exists.
Looks everything around you looks like a normal cave that
All
you've
right.
maybe studied in your books, because I'm not sure if you've ever really gone caving or adventuring previously to this
No,
day,
I
really.
haven't.
There's
Nope.
not really many caves in Ionori, so
Nope.
but yeah, looks like natural cave system,
Unworked stone.
unworked stone.
All right, then
You jerk.
nothing seems
All right.
different. Just is it like, can we see far? Is it curving? Is it?
It's dark,
Ooh, I'm gonna
It's dark.
cast mage armor really quick.
so all you can really see is Lennox casting mage armor as like little sparks go up her body in kind of like random different colors, and then eventually they kind of fizzle out, and like fireworks, and you just yeah.
Sorry,
Cool.
can never be too careful.
Oh, and I
you
have
see,
a torch.
you see.
also.
So there's ahead of you a little bit, right? But you do see around him, but it's a cave. After that, after
Okay.
his light, you see nothing.
All right, well, I'm gonna kind of like Jax keep an eye out for traps, but just let's see what's down here.
Yeah, sounds good. We can all
All
go
right.
together if you guys want.
So you guys are ignoring the cave-in area for now.
Where the
Yes.
skeleton
Yeah.
thing was, yeah, I think we're gonna go past that. And
Okay.
continue on.
Yep.
You guys wanna stealth past it?
I mean, we can stealth. Dare is a little bit of a beacon.
That's fair.
Anything will probably see him, but I mean, if you wanted to keep quiet for us, we could do that.
Sure.
Probably a good idea.
All right, roll me a group stealth check then.
That's a nat 1. All right. Good start.
Jack says, "All right," turns, smash right into the wall, and
Crunch.
wasn't paying attention.
14.
Oh.
I can't use my luck on him, right?
I do not believe
No.
so.
There's a feat
Okay.
that lets you do that. It is really good. Oh.
Another 14. And just for ha-has, because Dare and Lola are here.
Oh, that's
Dare-
fair.
I mean, Dare's not stealthing. He's just out. If you want me to roll it for him, I can, but
Nope, if he's just
This
going
is
ahead and floating.
interesting that
He's
you
just
don't think Chho should roll something.
Nope. Okay, wow. Lola engages stealth mode and puts brushes come out of her feet. And no, she's just careful where she steps. So yeah, after the nice big clangy smash of like, your gauntlet kind of like scraping into the wall, because that's probably the most metal thing on you besides your breastplate. The loud ding goes through the cave and you guys kind of hear it ching ching ching. A little bit of an echoey down the hall, we'll call it, or down the cave. So yeah, you start to walk past the cave-in area. You delve deeper into this tunnel. Dare lighting the way 20-ish feet away, you said. And the tunnel kind of curves off to the left a little bit, starts to curve back to the right a little bit, but there's not really a lot. You don't see any offshoots yet. In some areas, the tunnel starts to get a little tighter. Like, okay, duck down a little bit, Frey, because you're kind of on the taller side, right?
yeah, a little 6-ish.
Yeah, so even then you're kind of just like, okay, I don't really want to, hit my head on any of the rock above me, but you're not like having to like hunch over or anything. Just kind of like, okay, let me just watch my head. Don't want to ding myself like Jax did. Maybe about 5 minutes or so walking this path, you look behind you, it's just pitch black back there. Look ahead of you, all you see is Dare's light, and you feel and hear like the rumble again, kind of like off in the distance.
Does it seem closer now, farther? Like, I heard it at the camp, right? Does it seem like we're coming up on something? Does it seem like it's just a faraway thing?
You can roll a perception for that, just to like kind of hone it in and see if that's what Frey thinks.
15.
15. Yeah, with a 15, it seems you think it's a little closer.
Okay.
Yep, a little closer.
Just turn back to them. We might be coming up on something. Moving towards whatever that is.
Good.
All right. You carefully keep walking down this tunnel, and eventually, we'll say about 10, 15 minutes of just like kind of, since you're all stealthing carefully, trying to watch your step. Nothing pops out, nothing weird. You can't sense anything, you can't see or hear anything different in this tunnel, and then eventually it starts to open up just a little bit. And then you hear that rumbling again. This time, all of you can hear it, and it does sound closer now.
What do you think is doing that?
Can I take a look at the stone, like the cave that we're in, or the tunnel or anything? Does it look like a natural kind of thing, or does it look like something made it?
Nature check.
Nature check. I'm not great at that. Oh, 21.
21. With the 21, you can ascertain that seems pretty natural to you. It does not look like this is made. It looks like it's just a natural formation of cave inside a mountain.
Sound like something like cut through it or something. Okay.
Been here for more than 24 hours and nothing has come out to feed. Not that I think that there's they might not need more time to get hungry, but doesn't sound like it would be like a dragon or something that would have to escape unless there's a giant opening somewhere that we haven't found yet.
I hope not.
It's not a dragon.
Oh, absolutely. No, that'd be crazy. I don't hope it's a dragon. Hey, I don't hope it's a dragon either.
There hasn't been
I don't.
much said about dragons in the area in general from Ianori. As far as you know, nobody, maybe dwarves have had a couple of stories circulate
Sure.
in through the city or something like, oh yeah, there's dragons out there, but nobody has seen one or heard about one nearby.
My guess is that
But
just based on the fact that
Mhm.
nothing's come in or out, it's probably something closer to like the skeletal figure that we saw that is like an undead or something, that it's not like a bio living thing that needs to eat.
Let's hope not.
possibly.
I hope it's nothing. That would be great too.
Where there is sound,
Nothing
there is
would be
something.
great.
So my guess is it is something.
That
All
is
right.
a
We'll see.
sensible deduction.
Oh, thank you, Jax. Thank you for saying that.
Gotcha.
All right, so you push through a little further. Again, now the cave, maybe another 5 minutes of walking. You finally get to an area where, as you see Dare kind of float through, you can tell that the area just like opens up. You can't see like you can see like the cave walls, and then you see just darkness. But you
I
can
tell him to
tell that
stop.
Dare is not next to cave walls, and Dare just stops. He just floats there.
I move into the room closer to Dare with Lola and bring my torch in.
As you enter, you enter a very large opening, and you can't really, besides what the light source that you have, you can't really see much else beyond that. But like, it's just all kind of darkness around you. The ceilings here are only about 15-ish feet high, though, so it's just like a weird, more opening to the sides of you versus like the whole cave opening up. So the ceilings are kind of low. But yeah, you can see just darkness around you right now. And of course there's near you, and of course just being in a natural cave, you see tons of like, rocks and stalagmites, stalactites hanging and coming off the floor and all that. So yeah, you have like 15-foot room of movement above you about, and just an open, big open space. And who here has the highest? What's your passive perceptions?
14,
Another
I think.
9.
14, 9 and 14. Yeah, okay. So with a 14, even I'll say, you kind of stop in your tracks as you hear something, but you hear like little pitter patters of like feet hitting, like something walking on the floor, like. And you just kind of hear them walking around you, but you can't see anything yet.
I put my hand up to the people behind me and I turn my head back a little bit and just go, there's something else in here. I hear footsteps.
Kind of slowly unsheath my sword, grab my shield, and just have them out.
I would say, because of the way this cavern's absorbing light, we should choose a side of the wall to stick to and explore on a wall side to follow to see if we can map out the size. Obviously there's something in here with us, but we have to be prepared for that. But just as a way to like map up the actual size of this room, since it's pretty hard to see. Instead of just going straight down the middle.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This gives us a point to follow back if we get lost.
Yeah.
Do you say that out loud?
I sure do.
Okay, you see Jax, after he puts his hand down, he like motions to Dare. He's like, come here. And he starts backing up towards the wall on the right with the torch and starts like putting his back to that wall so you can just look out on one side. So he goes on the right hand side.
Perfect. And
And
Lennox
has
will
the
just
torch.
put a hand on the wall as we go.
Ah,
Are we going left or right?
Right side.
Okay.
So your hand would be on the right. Your right hand would be on the wall.
Yeah.
Okay, right hand side. All right. Good for me to know. So, you guys kind of like hug the right side of the wall, and as you're kind of like walking over the rocks, are you guys continuing to stealth here, or what are you guys doing now? Since now you're in this open area.
I would definitely want to stealth.
We have light though, right? I mean,
Sure.
besides Dare,
We
is
do.
there a torch? You have a torch.
I have a torch.
Okay. So
You
then
still be
it's not
trying.
like
You
we
still
can
might be trying to be quiet.
Sure.
Yeah, can
Try to be
Yeah.
stealthy. Why not?
We only have one torch on us.
Right now you
I
have
have
Dare
one.
and Jax has a torch.
Oh, we have Dare. Okay.
Yeah.
I just wondered
And
if
and you know, if you guys wanted to, I think all of you have probably torches in your backpacks because that's what D&D gives you. Okay, so we have a 4 from
Ooh,
Jax,
girl, she's stealthy.
an 18 from Lola. Jax just rides Lola.
I surf like a freaking
uh,
skateboard.
Joe,
Oh,
change
and
your
I'll.
name.
Oh,
Frey got an 11 and Lennox got a
Dare's
20.
rolling.
Lennox got a 20.
20,
Lennox-
crushing it.
Well, she's also naturally stealthy. We haven't talked about that, but I can hide
Dare got a
behind.
12.
Frey's actually
Um,
perfect for Lennox because I can hide.
Okay, can you change your name
directly.
in the Roll20 chat for me too? Just
Yeah.
for easier for me to see. Excellent.
You-
Great. So with that, again, Jax is having some trouble. There are lots of rocks here, and with his hand on the wall, it's dark. He has the torch up and kind of just keeps missing things, and you know, kicking his boots and
Jax, come on.
rocks. You know,
This isn't really my
and-
environment.
so how far does Dare's light go out? We said like 20 and 20.
No, it's pretty short.
Oh, okay.
Theirs is 15 foot dim light. It's not
Yeah,
far.
15 feet.
15 foot dim.
All right, 15 foot dim. Cool. So, and he's still a little ahead of you. Is that what you're doing?
Keep him a little
So
bit
he's
closer now that we're
he's
in
like
a
a little beacon of light in front of you guys while you guys have the torch light. But the torch goes 20 and 20, right, Nick?
Right, 20 and
Okay.
20.
So, so that's 40 feet. So Dare's only giving out 15 feet. So I guess Dare's just kind of like a weird aura ahead of the torch as you guys are going across the right side of the wall here.
You know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna since we're in this room now and he's kind of with us, I'm gonna make him disappear, and he reappears as a little bit like a wisp of air. You can turn him air form.
All right. So the light instantly goes out, and then a little like picture like a little mini tornado kind of thing appears, and he's just like making a sound like cool. So yeah, you guys hug the right side of the wall, and since you're all being careful except for Jax, and for, you know, Frey is getting by, we'll say, not tripping on stones necessarily, but with him you know, casting or recalling and recreating his familiar, has to, you know, sort of make some noise with the snaps and everything that he does. But you guys are traveling across the right side of the wall, and it's sort of so as you're coming out of the cave, you're pretty, you curve to the right a little bit, but you kind of follow the wall, and it just seems to be going pretty straight for a while until it kind of like dips into like what it feels like a little bit of an alcove, and with the light you can see that there's like a little bit of a, you know, yeah, just like a little bit of alcove in the wall, and then you kind of come around it again, and then you see that the wall curves again to the right, and as you kind of come around the corner, you come to this area where it's about 10 foot apart, but there's this giant bouldery rock in the way. So here's the wall. You have about 10-foot space to like walk through, but then you have like sort of like cover, we'll call it, right, of a huge rock off to your left. But as you turn the corner, the light kind of shines, and you see this creature, and it kind of lets out a little meow, and it kind of starts running away from you. And it kind of looks lizard-like, and it just kind of like it runs away from your group. And you made that weird little sound, and then you instantly hear as like the earth starts rumbling a little bit, and then it kind of subsides. And now what you saw is, if anybody wants to make like a perception check or even a nature check, I would allow, or an arcana, I guess.
I can do an arcana.
I'm doing Arcana too.
Whoa.
Nice, Jax.
18.
I got a 15.
And Frey with a 16 perception.
16.
All right. So I'll start with Jax. So you had the highest roll for Arcana. While you've read a lot in your studies of different creatures out in the world during one of your, you know, creatures of the world classes, and you kind of caught the glimpse of this thing as it ran away from the light pretty quickly, as you kind of made sounds coming around the corner. But it's a four-legged creature. Looks kind of smooth, right? And it doesn't really have like a distinguishable facial features from what you can tell, and it has like a little bit of a tail. It's like brownish in color, and all you really made out was the scales on its body, and how like interlocked they are, and like how smooth it looks. And it just ran away from you. And you both Lennox and Frey, you kind of saw the same thing. Frey, with the perception check, I'll give you. You did see it as it made that little like yelping sound. It does have like a little bit of like a beaked mouth, and it just like as it ran away from you guys.
How big was it? Was it
it was
big old, or was it
probably standing at about 4-ish feet tall, and
Okay.
probably about 6-ish feet long.
okay?
So kind of like beefier looking, right? But like
Bigger,
it
but
did
not-
run from you.
Okay. I stop. I don't know if everyone else can continue on.
Yeah.
I throw the torch at it. No, I'm just kidding. I'm like, what the heck was that?
I don't know.
Yeah.
Do you recognize anything like that? Is that something that
It's like a bug or a lizard.
Like a lizard.
had like a beak?
My fear is, did it just go talk to like Mama or something with this? Because that sound followed it leaving, and it was already pretty big. Does anyone
You
know
said
what
there
it
was
is?
an
Big.
you said there was an alcove to the right somewhere.
Yeah, like you're following the wall, and you can see there's like it turns to the right is what I'm trying to say. So like it kind of opens up, and
Okay,
you can kind
sorry.
of see it goes a little ways from you, and then there is a wall where you can kind of see it starts turning back. So like like kind of like a cutout, if you will,
Mhm.
of the cave that you're in, or
And
at
the
least
rock
the path that you're
is
walking.
in the cutout.
This just big rock just happens to be to the left of you. So like you came around a corner,
this
there's like a
lizard
walk
thing was-
space.
Did it go
And the lizard
behind it?
thing ran off to your left, around past the rock and out of view.
Okay. So there's a rock kind of blocking where it went at this point.
Mhm.
Okay.
I would say Jax is probably well, I don't know. I would
Spent a
say
lot of times in
all three
library.
of you are like very educated, but
Thank you.
probably Jax
For
was
the
the
Smurf.
biggest nerd growing up. Jax, I will allow
I
you.
just want to say a big part of my backstory is that I had to be in the library because they would not allow me to be on the field.
Yeah, that's because you're
Surprise.
dangerous, not because you were
Yeah, that's right, danger.
smart.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
So scary.
Oof.
I'll allow this. I'll
Terrifying.
say all of you were educated. I would say also roll me just nature checks, like a group nature check.
Okay.
Because like so Jax was like look kind of like a lizard type thing, and then Frey said something about the beak,
A 6.
and then Lennox said something about
14.
Mama. And the 14 and the 12 with like the brainstorming of you three and less Frey. You kind of think like, I mean, we're in a cave. Its scales were like tightly packed. Like it looked smooth, but you can tell there were scales, right? They were like interlocked in a certain way
Uh-oh.
where you probably believe like this might have been like a burrowing creature.
Would we say it might be
And-
something that could curl up and look like a gigantic rock if it was in a full adult form?
Maybe not that, but Jax starts thinking of something like what's something that digging lizard, boulet? Is it a baby? Is that like a young boulet? And that's
Oh,
kind of what
no.
comes to your mind.
Those things are dangerous, but
Boulet.
interesting.
Okay. I take a step back and I kind of like wave the two of you over, and
hmm
I feel like, and you can tell me if I'm wrong, part of the reason we're here is to make sure that nothing from here interferes with the town anymore. Is that right? I know we're not exactly close,
Yep,
but I feel like
yep.
it's close enough. Are we looking to clear things out of here that might be dangerous, or are we just here to warn people?
I think just warn people and know if there's anything else in here worth exploring. I don't feel the need to interact or to kill anything that's just living its dream down here in the cave.
I mean, I'm more of research and development type, not so much war and weapons type. I think warning the citizens is important, and I think maybe closing off that cave-in back there is important. These creatures would be natural, actually, to this area, as far as
Yeah.
I can tell, even though they are monstrous in nature, if that's what they are. But this would be their home that we would be encroaching on.
Don't
And they
disagree.
are rather dangerous.
I'd prefer not to kill something unless I have to.
That's fair.
Know about you,
It's
Frey.
good instincts.
And as you guys are talking around the corner, because you still have the torchlight, you see the little, and I say little, 4 feet tall, 6 foot long, bootleg comes around the corner and like kind of just like is walking towards the alcove, and it doesn't really react like to you guys. Just kind of just does its little thing, walks on over, kind of like digs its beak into the ground, and you see like it can move the dirt, the rock and dirt underneath it, like no problem. It's like kind of like rooting around for stuff, and then it kind of just looks like it goes, meh. And then
Does it?
a few seconds later,
rumble?
off in the distance, you hear, meh.
There's
And
more
then
than one.
another few moments later, a little further away,
Yeah, okay. I think they're doing good here. I think they're doing good, solid work. Don't want to mess with the construction site.
I think we should leave them alone.
Yeah,
It
sure.
sounds like
They're
there's a few
adorable,
more.
but possibly deadly. So I think maybe we back
Like
up.
maybe we start backing away.
Yeah.
I think maybe we've gotten what we need, and I would like to know more about this ore, because I think the only reason to come back and explore more would be like, hey, what is this? Why is this here?
Sure. Absolutely.
I mean,
we
I'd say
need
we
to
definitely
know
want to
more
at least
about
close
it.
off that other part. Do we want to? Did it sound like the noises were coming from, like ahead of us in the cave, or farther down in whatever this little alcove was, or all around us?
probably, or it would, with that last rumble, we'll say, due to your orientation in the cave, like you don't really know where north, south, east, and west is by now. But like if your hand is going across the right of the cave, you kind of hear it off to like a northwestern direction of what your perception is.
Okay.
Team, I have to deal with something at the door. I will be right back.
Alrighty,
Go for it.
no worries.
I start backing the way we came with the torch, and if the thing doesn't react, great. I'm like, Lola, come on, and I start slowly like.
Yeah. You're backing away very carefully. Roll me stealth checks.
Sure.
Did they seem to notice us when we were standing there? Did we get the chance? Hey, look at you.
It
Nat
didn't.
20.
It, like I said, it didn't react to the sight of you.
Okay, Lola rolled a nat 1.
Wow.
Damn it!
Guys,
I couldn't get
you
two
guys
good rolls.
get it together, please.
I had to get a
The
bad
two of
roll.
you. 18. And
Okay.
now that I've said that, Dare's gonna have a hard time.
Are we stealthing?
Hey, 21.
Yeah, we're backing
you're
away
only
from
You're trying to
moving
stealth
the Boule.
away.
Yeah.
Not good.
All right. So Lennox is backing up. But as she backs up, she kind of knocks into Lola, which then Lola knocks into like a rock, and like a very loud metallic ping, like ping, and it kind of like stumbles a little bit, and then you hear the little blue like and like starts running away again. And then the rumble starts to occur. As like and you guys can feel that it seems like it's closer, and then the rumbling subsides. And you
Let's go.
back away quite a bit.
Yeah.
And you back away a bit, and you get closer to the tunnel entrance. And with the torchlight, now that you're kind of facing in a different direction, because now your hands are, we'll say, you're touching the left. Your hands on the wall. Your left hand's on the wall because you're trying to walk away. Everybody roll me perception checks real quick. Just see what happens.
Perception in the
Fingers
storm.
crossed for y'all, because I like you.
Lennox got a
15.
All right, so 15.
14.
14 and a 15. As you're walking away, because you are now surveying the area, trying to be careful. You're like, I don't want to make noise. I don't want to make noise. You've noticed that these things happen to be affected by the noises it hears versus just the sight of you at this moment. And you a little somehow with the glint or somehow with the light of the torch, probably about 40 45-ish feet away from you, you notice just a little ding off in one of the corners near some. You can't really see it that well because it's kind of like super dark, but like you assume that there's some rocks over there, but you just see like a little light as the glint, a little shine.
Did we notice that those creatures shined at all? Did the light reflect off of them?
Not in the same manner.
So this is kind of a cross almost to the other side of where we came in from?
Mm-hmm. So this would, if where you're standing right now, it would be to like roughly the to the left of where you came in.
To the left. Oh, sorry.
So some kind of shiny thing next to some
something.
stones.
Yeah, something glinted over there.
I'm like, what is that over there?
Should I send Dare?
Sure.
Okay.
Can you pick stuff up?
I mean, if it's very light, maybe.
All right, go Dare. I support you.
I say, Jax, come here. I send Dare and I say, if anything goes weird, shake me. And I'm gonna put my hand kind of on your shoulder, and see my eyes turn this like, almost like this like windy gray, stormy color. And I'm gonna perceive through Dare's senses as I send him over there.
All right. So as Jax is supporting you or whatever, and you go into this trance, emotionally. You see as Frey's eyes kind of just go clear white, like if he had massive cataracts almost. And the little air elemental makes its way over towards whatever that glint may have been. Does Dare have dark vision?
I want to say yes, but let me check. Yeah, 30 feet.
Okay, great. So Dare floats his little way over there, and through Dare's eyes, you can see like the grayscale of the rock formations and all the different stuff in your way. Plus, he's kind of floating because he's an air elemental, so he's being very quiet. I'll give him that. And as you get over there, you get 30 feet, and off to Dare's right, you do see another one of these young boulets. And it's kind of just standing over there and like kind of rooting around and stomping a little bit. And it doesn't make notice of Dare. And good. Dare keeps floating over, and then Dare finds like this pile of rocks, just like scattered about in a corner, just like sort of like kind of like a minor cave-in, we'll say. Mm-hmm. And eventually, even though it's kind of grayscale, he gets with his pile of rocks. I guess roll an investigation check.
Oh, he's would it be me or him if I'm looking through his senses?
It would still.
I believe it's the familiar senses.
Unfortunately, investigation. His ability to invest.
Very good at that. Is investigation, that's intelligence, correct?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which would be plus smart. 0, I'm assuming.
Yes. 18.
18. Great.
18.
With that, Dare kind of floats down to the ground, and even though you're sort of viewing through Dare what Dare is doing, you could see like these little wispy arms come out and starts like blowing away some of the dirt on the ground. Mm-hmm. And with your senses, what you see is you can tell there's like a few. He starts blowing away at the dirt and the dust and some small pebbles, and you see a couple of gold coins over there, and like he keeps blowing away a little more, and it seems like there may be more underneath.
And I still looking through Dare, and I'm not going to be able to hear any kind of response, but I just say, whisper, gold coins? Maybe some other things buried?
I mean, my instinct would be to leave it or grab one if Dare can grab one.
If there's nothing but gold over there, it might not be worth it. Unless
Did
he
he
sees something different.
see anything? I can't hear you guys, so I'm...
Oh, that's right. You can't.
That's even better.
Yeah.
I love that.
Damn it.
Does he? I'm sorry. You said was there other
that's
things?
That's why I said with the 18, you
Mhm.
you get the sense that there's stuff
There's other things
there. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So I relay that as well. I think there might be more over here.
Oh,
If we can be very quiet, we may be able to see what it is.
Jax. I tug on Jax's sleeve.
Stage whispers.
What's up?
It's embarrassing, and I'm never gonna ask you to. Look, could you carry me? Because I'm not very.
We can't actually hear you, just so you know.
Yeah, you're really whispering.
I'm literally talking.
There you go.
No, I was like, can you carry me? I'm never gonna ask this again. But can you? I'm not. It's loath to admit it. I'm not very stealthy. So if I could just hop on your shoulders, maybe for like 5 minutes, we never have to talk about this in public.
I won't tell Frey.
Thank you. Yeah, don't tell Frey. Jesus Christ, don't tell Frey.
Now I have a question. Can we move Frey while he's in this trance, or is he just like rooted to the spot?
You can push him. If
But
if
he can't,
he
like,
stays in
walk.
his vision, he'll probably trip on something.
I basically
He can't
just
hear
said
you. He can
I
feel
can't
you.
hear you. I can feel you, but I can't.
I tap on his shoulder. I'm like,
Wait, hold on.
and I come back.
He can feel us? Damn it. Because I was like, I'll crawl on him and then stay really still.
No.
So I come.
he just wakes up and has another
Ray
backpack.
comes back to his current vision. Looks over. What the hell are you doing?
We're gonna stealth over there.
Yeah, so I thought maybe I could catch a ride.
Why are you carrying her? Can't you walk?
Okay, Frey, I'm trying to help. I've already.
And I'm gonna start moving over.
All right. Are you moving stealthily?
Yes.
All right. More stealth checks, please.
Oh boy.
Can I do mine with advantage since I'm being carried?
I will.
Give me the help action. No,
Natural
Jax!
20.
How? Okay.
Jax, I've ruined you.
Okay.
Lola, so stealthy with a
Lola
20, but I got a 6.
Lola got a 20. Fantastic. Frey, natural 20 makes up a
Nice.
lot of this. Okay. Lennox backpack.
Penny, as a backpack.
As a backpack.
Another
Lennox
natural
doesn't-
20.
That 20
Lennox
as a
doesn't
backpack.
breathe.
Yeah.
2 natural
And
20s.
Lennox
All
tapping
right.
out.
Because Jax is carrying Lennox, you have a hard time being stealthy. But Frey's being so stealthy, and Lennox is out of the equation. I will count that. What's the average? Okay, 22 plus 6 is 28. You guys got a 14. I'm gonna take
The
half.
20 plus the turtle 20.
But the turtle 20 helps. Okay. You make your way over to this pile of rubble, and off to your right, all of you can see it now because of the torch. You see the young Boulay, and like as you get close, you kind of make a little sound. It kind of picks its head up, but it doesn't make a sound. And it starts putting its head back down and starts rooting around again for whatever it's doing. You are now at this pile of
Okay.
rubble, we'll call it,
We made it.
of this cave-in.
This
Now
might
what?
be. So when we talk about rubble, the same question I think I asked with the cave-in. Is this like all of it massive rocks, or could some druid craft help us move things a little bit stealthier?
I don't think if you're going to try to use like the move earth, what is it? No, is it called move earth?
To be able to
cantrip?
move rocks quieter.
There's not really any cantrip, I think, that would help you move rocks
Right.
quietly.
And the coins aren't under rocks.
So the coins are now that you're on top of it, and you have torchlight, you can see that there are some coins and such sticking out of like the ground, and they're kind of like dusted over. And now that you're all there, how about roll me some investigation checks? And this is just like looking and maybe getting down and like, dusting away, but not doing anything that you would think would provoke.
We do that actually. Could
Okay.
I detect magic?
Okay. Phrase. How does your detect magic work? AKA, like, what does it look like?
Visually, you say so. Frey's eyes go like this. You see, it's like stormy and a little bit of like sparks, lightning, but then it turns to fire, and then they kind of crust over into this earth, and they kind of switch back and forth between the elements. But his eyes kind of stay this elemental look.
And for you, is yours instantaneous, or do you actually have to like?
I can do it.
You know what I'm saying? Like, is there verbal?
So
components?
Are there verbal components? That's a good question. Let me check. So I get that from being an elf.
Mm-hmm.
So I can cast it once per day for free, as like an action.
Mm-hmm.
There are verbal components to detect magic, though.
Okay.
I did roll a natural 20 for my stealth check.
Nope. You're fine. I just want to know. So you guys hear Frey as he mumbles a phrase, and then the fancy elemental eyes happen. And all I will say is, because you still have to like, so for detect magic, you have to be able to see the item or object that is magical in nature.
For the duration,
and it goes through a certain distance, I think.
Spell can penetrate most barriers, but is blocked by 1 foot of stone, 1 inch of common metal, 1 thin sheet of lead, or 3 feet of wood or dirt.
Okay, I will say this: you do get a little blip in like through the rocks, right? Just because it's not like a stone wall. It's rubble. It's a bunch of rocks that have fallen from the wall and into the cave, from the cave, and you do kind of see there's like this little like purplish aura or like little little beacon coming from somewhere in the hole of what you can see down through the rocks.
Something magical down there. Can I do a quick, also after you guys do what you're going to do, I want to do a quick scan of the room too behind us, just to make sure that there's nothing that's pinging. I can't imagine there would be, but
all right. So with Jax's investigation check first,
nice.
we Jax, you get down there and you take some of the coins and you pick them up
Jax
carefully.
got 21.
Yes.
21. Yes.
Oh, and you got a 20. Jesus. Okay, so both of you just squat down and start like picking up some of the gold coins. Like, okay, being careful and don't want to ding them too loud to scare off the boule as it's rooting around about. It's only about 30.
You.
It's only like 30 feet away from you.
No, you're leaning forward and I stay on your shoulders and I'm reaching over your shoulder and like, oh, interesting. Okay.
And as Lennox is reaching over his shoulder, you kind of like grab at something and you pick it up and you instantly drop it down because you see that is like it's just like a skeletal hand.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and you're like, oh god, like you touched it, you're like, oh god, and yeah, you see that there's gold coins down there. You see a skeletal hand.
Are these gold coins that we recognize? Like this is current currency?
It is gold coins that are current enough.
Okay, they're not irrecognizable.
Yeah, they're not like some weird currency.
And are they local? Like, do they look like they're from our area?
Roll me an intelligence check.
Ooh, could I roll a history check?
History would work. Yes.
Yes.
That's good. I forgot history existed.
21.
14 for me. Nice, Jax.
I'm gonna let them do this. I'm keeping an eye out a little bit.
Yeah, you're keeping an eye out. So you flip the coins over, you kind of clean them off, and they're a little worn out. And then you see a date on it, which I'll make up at some other future time. But they're probably about like 100 years old. But the city's been around for a little longer than that. So yeah, local,
Cool. Right.
Current enough, just older. And
Is there anything other than coins here and skeleton hand?
depends. Are you gonna
Yeah.
check underneath harder.
I mean, I do.
So basically,
there is something
piecing it
magical
together, there's this cave in, and there's just a hand sticking out, and there's some gold coins. That's all you can really see. And Frey did see that there was a magical item underneath the rocks.
I try to move some more rocks with sleight of hand instead
Yes.
of like rolling a stealth.
Yeah.
I'm gonna just use
Yeah,
sleight of hand.
you're
to,
strong
like,
enough
start
to pick up rocks here and there, and
slowly.
you're kind of doing them with a sleight of hand. And Frey, just so you know, you scan the room, and nothing else within your sight pings as magical. And
Good.
the boule hasn't actually walked off a tiny bit, so it's about maybe 40-ish feet away from you.
Thank
So
you.
it's like just at the edge of the torchlight, where you could barely see like its tail kind of moving around.
Can I give Jax the help action with the sleight of hand?
You
even,
may.
like- Great. Okay.
Do I get a sense of how far away the magic item is? Like, can I see distance-wise? Like, is it 6 inches? Is it 3 feet? Is it
a
more?
couple feet.
Couple feet. So,
Couple
okay,
feet.
so I let you know what I'm seeing in terms of where this thing.
Okay. So you
is.
kind of guide where we're plucking the stones from.
Yeah, so roll a sleight of hand with advantage.
Sweet. Awesome. I don't know what I got.
Good.
Can't see.
A 10.
That's a 10. That's a 10.
A 10 takes you some time. So you pick up the first rock and you put it down, pick up the second rock, and you kind of hit the second rock, and you're like, what the hell's wrong with me? And like, and you kind of all go look towards the boule, and like its tail stops for a sec, but then it kind of starts moving around a little bit more, so it didn't make a noise. Wasn't a fail. But it's just like, this is gonna take a little while if we got to be this careful. So yeah.
Can I roll animal handling to see if I can get Chho to go, like, not on purpose make a distraction? I know he's incapable of doing that, but like send him off to the other side, because he does like to fly off, so that maybe some wing flapping noise can be elsewhere in the cave.
Okay, we're playing a dangerous game.
I have
will
animal
allow you
friendship.
to. I will allow you to. So you're smart enough to know that probably like that kind of spell probably wouldn't work on these creatures, unfortunately, because they are not originally.
But sometimes
natural.
I use it on Chho to just get him to be a little bit nicer to me that day.
I will allow you to roll an animal handling with Chho to try to get him to fly off and maybe create some noise at the other end of the cave to see what happens.
Chho.
Come on.
He starts to fly and just leaves out the cave tunnel that you originally came through as he flies off into the darkness.
I look at Jackson and he just has so many meetings.
That training is really coming along pretty well.
Guess so. Yeah. Guess so.
Should try treats.
Phrase.
All right. Do you guys continue to try to just move rocks?
Yeah, I'm gonna try to move them again.
Yeah.
I will allow another roll, but not at advantage. But I will allow a group roll if you work together.
Yeah. Of sleight of hand.
You can do sleight of hand, or you can do just I'll still allow an athletics check as picking up bigger rocks. If you're strong enough.
Yeah, I will do an athletics check as well. Natural 20.
God, Frey.
Frey, nat 20.
Yeah, so Lennox, you pick up some smaller rocks, but then
Lennox
you
got a
kind of put them
7, by the
down,
way.
and
Jack got a
as
12.
they go down, you're not really putting them on like. It's hard to see in here, and it's what's rock, what's dirt. You don't really know until you step on an area. So a couple of the rocks kind of ting, ting, and so far, you luckily don't really notice any movement from the boule. Jax, you're just trying to be as careful as possible, not really moving as much as you wish. And then Frey just happens to see, okay, well, look at this big rock up here, just sitting here. Just take that one. Just manhandles a fairly large, boulder-sized rock, and walks away a bit before
pick up the rocks
he
that Lennox is
places it
standing
down.
on and just
and takes you a good 35 40 minutes just trying to be careful not to piss off a boule, and it wasn't really that many rocks, but it just was really slow. And during that time, there's a few moments where the boule gets a little closer, like maybe 30, 25 feet away from you guys at one point, and you guys kind of like stop, right? And it's kind of like it looks like it's looking towards you, but then it kind of turns its face, and now it's this close and it's in the torchlight. You can see that like its eyes are still kind of like glazed over a little bit. And then it starts rooting around closer to you guys, and you hear like the rock rumbling, and as it's making noise, you kind of like move a few rocks because it's moving rocks around, and then it gets up and kind of like looks over to its left and like which is almost directly away from you guys, and then it starts walking off in that direction for a little bit. And then you do hear like in the distance little meh, and then this one just kind of goes meh, and like just starts walking away, but no rumbles happen after those. And you eventually move enough rocks where now Frey, by now your vision, your detect magic has gone, but you knew where it was, and you kind of can reach your hand in there and you pull out what looks like now it's in the light, you can hold it, looks like a little wand.
Ooh.
And you can see like a little satchel, but it's a little further, like it's like you have to kind of like move your hand through a couple of rocks now.
Can
and pass the skeleton's
mage
body? Yeah. What does your mage hand look like?
It's a similar kind of whatever Dare is at the moment. So since Dare is air, it's kind of this wispy like little thing that looks kind of similar to Dare.
Awesome. All right, you guys see as this like wispy hand comes out of Frey's hand and moves into the rubble. And roll me this would be good for a sleight of hand as it's trying to pull the bag up through the rocks.
17.
17. Oh boy. So yeah, a few moments pass and you guys see as like this wispy hand kind of pulls out this old worn leather pouch.
How big is the pouch?
About this big, like a little. It's a sizable pouch, and it still kind of comes up in like a rounded bottom and then cinched off at the top. And as it's moving, even though you rolled really high, I'll say that you do hear like a slight clinging inside.
Okay.
Gentlemen, can I suggest that before we open this, we head back to the hallway?
Oh, I was gonna suggest the same.
Let's get out of here.
Yeah.
All right. We take some of the coins and we take the pouch and
I pick up a rock and I'm holding it so that if we make a noise, it's something that I can throw, but I have one in my hand.
Okay.
Smart.
Good call.
And stealth away.
Stealth away.
Stealth away. Lots of stealth.
8.
12.
12.
Oh,
you know what I suck
run.
at?
Buddies.
Dare and
We made
Lola.
it so far.
Oh
no.
Stealth.
18. Lola is stealthy. I don't know what it is.
Natural 20 for Dare.
So Dare and Lola
disappears.
stealth off into the darkness. And you three start to kind of walk away, and Lennox, we'll say Jackson Frey kind of like turn and start just walking away towards where you believe the cave entrance is, because you have a decent orientation of where you are. Lennox got a little like, okay, wait, we're going which way now? I thought we're going no, we're going this way. Okay, and then as you take your step, you're kind of close to where you guys have moved the pile of rocks, and you sort of put your hand on it, not realizing that you're like not on, a wall piece, and you kind of a couple of rocks fall, and then you hear the meh, meh, and then you start to hear the rumbling again underneath the ground, and just like as it gets closer and closer to you guys, and then you guys start to kind of like, you guys all look back, and then you all just start to like, let's just go, and you start running. I'll give you that. You start running to the cave. And as you get to like where the cave starts to kind of come into that tunnel again, you kind of quickly look back, and then from underneath the ground, just this pile, this stone and dirt just kind of blasts from underneath the ground as this giant like 12-foot long, probably 8-foot tall boule comes blasting out of the ground, and just kind of wails onto the ground and like stomps its feet and like starts coming towards you guys, and you just run. You run. You don't look back. You make it. You just, as you know, this cave does not veer off. It doesn't have different paths. You eventually make it to that other caved in area where the giant is, and a few moments pass and the thing is not chasing you.
Ooh, that could have been really messy.
But you do hear it like just slightly stomping off in the distance, and then you start to hear the rumble again. And luckily, it sounds like it's going away from you guys.
I'm not against the idea of a baby Bjorn. I'll get in it if I have to. I'm so sorry.
Okay,
Your
so
stealth and my
short,
stealth
real
are
quick,
the same.
In one of our other games with these two, we did that with my character. Except it was like an Arctic tundra, and she was dying because it was so cold. So our friend Ben just like tucked her into like a baby Bjorn. It was fantastic. Anyway, so you guys, you're okay. You're okay.
Great.
The mama didn't come to end you, but she definitely was happy with scaring you off, at least from her babies. And now you are just at the same area with the caved in wall that you wanted to be at before.
Do we see of any way, like, can we just pile up the rocks that we moved to kind of seal up this doorway?
Caved in behind us. It was actively caving in as we ran out of it.
The big room was.
Oh, okay.
But only because the giant was like smashing like walls in the ground to cause stuff to fall from the ceiling, the cave ceiling. So where the rubble is now, for this caved in area that you cleared most of it to be able to fit Jax, Lola, and Frey through, you could just probably roll some athletics checks and put the rocks back, or you could, whatever other tools you may have, you could try to fill it back up.
I mean, if we're not worried about being quiet, I can.
No, let's just do it and get out of here.
Yeah.
What about
I'm down to do it quickly.
Should we leave them? I mean, not kill, but to fend for them. Should we leave this open?
I don't see how we could. Wait, do you mean not?
Oh yeah,
cover
I'd
this
leave
up?
the hallway open. I don't think they come out here much, but yes, I'd leave it open for now because we also might want to return. We don't know. Sure. Yeah, so I'd leave this open. I think they're okay. I don't think they're.
I mean, I think our whole point for being here was to get some of this stone and to check out what was here, and I think we've done that.
We did.
Let's close this up.
Yeah. Go for it.
And I'm going to rage, and see his skin starts to turn that like the darker gray color and starts to pop and become more rubbly, and he's just this large, hulking rock monster. And I'm just gonna start swinging into the wall and cave in as much as I can of it.
Can I give him the help action by singing theme music?
And
Rage man.
And he slams, and then he stops and just like looks in your direction.
Rock boy.
And if a rock could sigh, that's what you would do. And just gonna keep smashing the rock. And I think as my rock form, I do get siege damage, double damage destruction.
Sure. Yeah, roll some attack rolls against the cave.
Say I have my sword out in terms of attacks.
Sure.
I missed the wall.
Well, you're raging, so.
Yeah, reckless.
Yeah, you're reckless.
Multi-classes as a bard.
Fuck that wall.
So that her song of rest.
22.
Theme song.
Awesome.
Yeah,
great. You hit the wall a bunch, and you know what? Yeah. Honestly, over some time, you're chunking pieces of wall off, and it's like going towards the door opening. You're just like kind of like uppercutting the rubble that's already there, and just like pushing it all into the doorway. And after like a solid, I don't know, we'll say minute of just going nuts on this the cave. Yeah, you believe you sufficiently have covered up that tunnel entrance, that cave entrance, or whatever you want to call it. And you can't. Now when you put your hand near, all you can do is now feel that slight draft of different air coming from that direction. You couldn't fit in if you wanted to. Lennox couldn't even really fit in if she wanted to. Yeah,
I
you did
pick
it.
up Lennox and try to put her into the rocks to see if she fits through.
Ah!
No.
Oh, Lennox is muted. Singing your theme song, I think.
Rock
Excellent.
boy.
Rock boys picking me up. Yeah.
Okay. You've sufficiently blocked
Yeah,
the entrance to that
and I will
giant.
Good.
shrink back down to humanoid, medium size, but I'll stay kind of rocky and keep the rage going for the 10
rock.
minutes.
All right, rock. I'm like, let's get out of here. Good job, Frey.
Okay, I just think canonically now, though, Lennox will be also, while making a map, writing a comic called Rock Boy and Cyberman Adventures of.
Wow.
And she will be taking down their adventures comic book
Great.
style.
Great. I think
Their
it's
arch nemesis is
fantastic.
Chho, the Black Bird of Doom,
That may be true. Yeah.
secretly manipulating.
Oh God.
Let's get the heck out of here.
Just saying,
Yes.
she is doing it.
No, I'm down.
Excellent. Great, perfect. I am
God.
looking forward to this. Yeah. So you guys, you know your way now as you've been in this area before. You walk past the caved-in area. You walk down the tunnel. You come eventually back to the area that had those two giant stone pillars that you were investigating, and the tattered campsite. Still the bones of the skeletal creatures that you obliterated are still scattered about the room. No movement. It's okay. You leave this area, traveling down the next tunnel. You eventually come to that opening again where the carved faces in the wall existed. You can see that the sky is the little opening above you is still a nice clear sky, looks like, so the light's kind of shining in. A little bit of warmth on this. I believe we said it was spring. Can't remember. But a little bit of warmth. Yeah, it was spring. A little bit of warmth coming in from the sunlight that just happens to be almost right above you. And you continue your way, and you come into the very first ruins area that was originally investigated by the Scarlet Pinion. And you leave the cave where the ogres were killed. And as you walk out, Frey, you catch a whiff on the wind. Kind of smells like smoke.
Coming from outside, like
you guys have just reached the outside, and you smell some smoke, and it's coming off the your right hand side, you believe.
I stop them and I say, "Smoke." And I look in the direction.
I toss the torch back into the cave. I'm like, oh, fine. Toss it backwards.
It's light
so I
out
don't
now
have
here. It's
daytime.
it's
Like,
quite nice to see light and some
How
green
long did that
trees
take?
again.
Was that like pretty quick to get out? Like, am I still
Oh,
maintaining
no.
rage? Or
Your rage probably would have ended
Okay.
from just walking. It's probably took you a solid hour to get out or something. By now, with the adventuring you've done, the moving you've done, I would say it is like noonish probably. So you still spent a solid, we'll say 4 or 5-ish hours in there, due to also waking up and not really knowing what time it was. So you guys could have woke up a little later, not really realizing how it goes. So it's like noonish, we'll say. Yep. And you catch a whiff of smoke to your right, and Jax, since your passive perception is the same, I believe you also kind of start picking it up. Like, oh yeah.
I draw my hammer out, and I'm like, I kind of put my hands up. My hand has my shield. I'm like, put my hand up, kind of stop everybody, and I'm like, I point in the direction where I think the smoke is coming from, to the right, I guess.
Yeah. Do you travel over that way?
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, stealth over.
Yeah, sure. So,
Yeah.
That's a 6. I'm
Yeah,
really stealthy.
No.
18.
Frey kind of hugs, the cave
No.
entrance mouth, and kind of stays near the trees. Lennox and Jax just kind of start walking in that direction with
Look, it's
some
the light.
branches.
We are disoriented. Okay,
It's,
we're
it's a little bright out. You're like,
Oh,
Yeah.
everybody's just. Dare got a 7.
As you get closer, the smell gets stronger, and roll me some perception checks.
12.
I got a 0.
I got a 9.
Oh
How did
my
you get a
God.
0?
Because I got a nat
Minus
one and I have
one.
-1 to perception.
Oh, man.
Oh my goodness.
You are
I'm like,
something
this
else.
seems
Lennox is like,
chill.
oh my god, it's bright
No.
out.
Lennox is literally like, Cyberman does whatever a Cyberman can. She's absolutely in her own world thinking about.
Making the mini series in her
So
head.
Yeah.
surprising.
Oh my god. Okay, great. And Jax, you can still sniff it, but you're not really picking it up. But Frey, from your stealthy position, not near the main group, you see what looks like off in the distance a little bit, not too far away, maybe 50 feet from you, but like maybe some like a snuffed out fire.
Mm-hmm. Are you did the two of you move ahead of me, or were we all kind of together?
So you're kind of doing like an accidental pincer move where the main group kind of just walking towards it, and you sort of walked off to the side because you had a nicer stealth roll than they did. So you're kind of seeing it at an angle, and they're slowly encroaching the area where you see the snuffed out fire. But you're all about the same distance from it, about 50 feet. They just can't see it because of there's trees in the way. And stuff.
I'm gonna try to maintain my whatever stealth I have. I'm gonna message Jax and just say, "Looks like a snuffed out fire over here. Be careful."
Yes, be careful with your 6 stealth roll. So yeah, so you move towards the snuffed out fire. Eventually, you guys get close enough where both Jax and Lennox can see it, and Frey, you're close by too, and you don't really see any signs, especially with those rolls, of any individuals around. But you're all about 20 feet now, we'll say, from the snuffed out fire pit.
Can I take a look around? Do I see any kind of tracks or anything that looks like
Survival check. Switch it up.
14?
You get down kind of low, and you don't see any tracks in your area.
Okay.
And you don't even see, kind of checking out the campsite since you're pretty close and you're still maintaining some form of stealth. You don't even see where, like, all you see is where the snuffed out fire is, and it was snuffed out that roll not too long ago.
Okay.
I'm gonna do something, and you guys are gonna hate it. Hold on one. Okay. I'm gonna yell.
You're right. I hate it. Oh.
Yes, you're right. I'm gonna yell, "We see you, dum dum! Come out!" And I want to use intimidation. You'll
Roll
be
an
shocked.
intimidation check.
You would be fucking shocked at how much intimidation Lennox has in her little body. Come on.
You're right.
25!
Oh my god.
Oh my gosh.
When she
Amazing.
wants to, she could be scary.
After all our like
you know,
3s and a 0.
All of Lennox is
So
built
Frey,
for
what the
people
heck
interaction.
was that, Nick?
I cannot
I
fight.
think it was a big cat hair. That
That
flew
was
from-
crazy. I
Cat
saw
hair.
the fluff just
Cute.
fly across the
It
screen.
went right.
Anyway,
It went right in front of my camera like a ghost. This is now Ghost Hunters. I'm so sorry.
It's fine.
anyway, yeah, Lennox. So Frey, you're kind of surveying the area. You're like, okay, I don't see it. And then you hear the, "We can see you, you dumb." And you're like, oh god, what the
fuck is
and you
And this is a voice from Lennox
intimidated-
you've never heard. She sounds scary.
almost like if a mom was yelling at you.
Yeah.
And says dumb.
Yeah.
I'm dumb.
It looks stupid.
And and a few moments pass as you all kind of just pause and like wait for anything. Nothing happens. A few birds flew off. Crow flies away with the birds.
Well, I think we're safe. That certainly would have worked if there was somebody here.
Good job.
You really intimidated that forest.
Yeah. Yes. Poor forest.
You
Sorry,
sounded
forest.
real scary.
Oh, yeah.
That was something.
When you're my size, you have to make your voice 10 times bigger to be heard in any room. So I've got deep in the chest.
Right.
Good to know you can do that.
As they're chatting, you notice near the fire a crumpled ball of like parchment, and it has just like a little bit of a burn on it going as it's slowly starting to burn.
I go and grab it immediately.
All right, roll me a dexterity check.
Okay. I was waiting for saving throw. Straight dex.
Yeah.
Actually, same as my acrobatics. I'll just roll that.
Okay.
Natural 20.
Great. You get there.
Hey, that's like
and
your third nat 20.
I know.
You grab it because it was like right in near the snuffed out fire and it was just like starting to burn. You kind of grab it, and pat it off, and it's not burning anymore at least. Do you unravel it?
Yeah.
Okay.
I just jumped to the fire for whatever it was. I might as well see what it is.
Yep. You unravel it and you start to read it, and let's see now. You see a description. Male, stocky build, has weird metallic arm, probably artificer, wears a breastplate, brown hair, has a metallic turtle.
Superman. Someone already wrote the comic. Dang it!
So I could be way off
and then
here,
you start
but
seeing
this is
another
talking about
description of a small halfling girl. Annoying.
Girl.
Seems charismatic.
I thought you said annoying.
he did.
It did.
Annoying on the paper?
Yeah, and it like describes her entire outfit.
That seems pretty subjective.
In this case, I would actually argue with you on
Awesome. And the third description.
Okay, so a man wrote this. We know that for sure.
Do you examine the handwriting?
Oh my gosh.
I do. I do have proficiency in
description.
calligraphy.
We'll get there. The last description is definitely of Euphrae, and it says definitely seems like hiding something.
Does it?
And that's
Why
what the
am I
paper
the only
says.
one with the personality descriptor? Halfway girl.
I turned to the
this
two of them and I
campaign.
say,
I'm out.
this is talking about us. It really captured you, Linux. It's surprising how well they could really...
Truly unbearable.
Just will not stop talking about bacon.
Oh, Lennox reads it and goes, I don't know who they're talking about.
I'm gonna hang out. I grab it from. I'm gonna hang out to this. I think.
And nearby the fire, you also see that there is a red feather lying on the ground. And further in the letter, it does describe the cave that you were sent to, and also mentions something about the papers burned. But you can see that it mentions something about the ore.
Somebody's watching us.
Do I recognize the red feather?
It looks like the same red feather that the Scarlet Pinion would be wearing on their jackets.
Well, either somebody is watching us, or it is the group. It could be the same group from the tavern who got to know us in the tavern, followed us out here.
And
as we ask them questions. They might have taken it after the tavern interaction, just to try to figure out why we wanted
to
come back.
I would say more than likely be on your guard.
The
The only reason they're going to come out here to find us is to get more ore. The ore that we have.
Now that we're closer to the fire and we have this idea, can we check to see if there are prints that match, well, prints general, and then if they match the tavern group that we met?
Roll a nature check. Survival.
I'm going to take a look also, but I want Dare to just be kind of circling us at this point and just keeping an eye.
Oh yeah, could I have Lola just watching
14.
the perimeter behind us? Just kind of looking around.
Everybody kind of goes on the defensive, we'll say.
Sounds good. I'm going to also look for prints as well. Tracks.
Okay.
I do not find any because I rolled a 4.
And Lennox,
Lennox got a
you
15.
You get down and dirty,
Nice.
and
That was
you're
stealth.
nice and short to the ground, so you're looking
you're
for
right.
tracks. Frey disappears.
Push.
For a gigantic boulder, that man is still
22.
Rock boy.
Freya!
Stealthy.
Yeah.
So Lennox, you kind of get down. You're checking out the campsite area, and it with a 14, I'll say that you don't find tracks, but you definitely think like, wow, this is cleaned up.
Yeah, somebody was trying to hide.
With a 22 Frey, not disappearing from sight with a 19 stealth by accident. With a 22,
Hit the wrong button.
Yeah, hit the wrong button. Well, God. You get kind of down, and I'll even give it like you put your hand to the ground, and you kind of just like not meditate, but kind of focus for a couple seconds. Kind of just think, trying to bring in the vibe of your earth elemental, and trying to sort of commune with nature in a sense. And as you open your eyes off in distance, you can make out, it's so hard to see, but there are prints in the dirt, but they are so light that like nobody would have seen this unless I just happen to be catching this at the right freaking angle that I'm at right now.
What my elf eyes see.
Yeah, exactly. And you being elf helps. They seem very dainty.
Oh. I
there was a
immediately point them
dainty-
out.
Yeah, there was a dainty person, a very small person, in that last
Yes.
group.
There was.
I believe there was an elf and a gnome.
Why would they follow us here, though? You think for more ore to get the ore? But what they were here. They could have gotten.
Well, I don't think they went into the cave, right? Didn't they say they found some near the entrance? Maybe they wanted us to go and get it for them.
Oh, maybe they saw the skeleton.
That's more likely.
Okay. I still currently have it, which, no offense to me, but probably not the safest situation. Maybe this is something we could put in Lola. And I'm sorry, I'd like to message this.
Okay.
'Cause I also have
you're
message.
you're casting message? Oh, so it's like in his head.
Yes.
Okay.
I say out loud, I don't think there's room enough in Lola for the ore.
I message Jax and I say we should probably put that ore in Lola.
I say there's probably not that much room inside Lola to put that big piece of ore.
And then Lennox messages Frey and says, "Is there enough room inside you to put the ore?" She holds it up.
Message
It's
you
a
back.
chunk. Canonically, it's a pretty big chunk.
I'm like,
Ore.
put
What
it
are
in
you
my
talking
backpack.
about?
You can put it in my backpack.
All of a sudden, hundreds of
staring at
arrows
each
come
other.
out of nowhere. Just kill the party. No.
Yeah, I think backpack's a good idea.
I'll hold on to it.
I'll just pass my backpack to you. It's tiny. I'm sure it can fit in your backpack.
Yep, that works.
I mean, it's a sizable chunk you got out.
Yeah, that's, just all,
if
that's
you
all
wanna
that's in
hang
there.
on to it, I can as well.
I
It's up to
literally
you.
am just holding everything else.
So, yeah, you see. So like, from the tracks, you could see that they've walked off. Like they definitely were headed. If they were headed in a direction from here, you would assume maybe heading back to Riverton. I mean, that's the direction. Ish.
Oh, the tracks are heading back. Okay.
Yeah, they're heading away from the mountain. But remember, if you
Interesting.
look over here, there's a mountain right there. Like you are outside of a mountain.
So their goal
mean-
must not be to take it, or they would have waited and just ambushed
Unless they're
us.
setting up an ambush
Maybe
somewhere
we
else.
took too long for them. Maybe
this
they
seems-
waited in.
Your
Pretty recent.
phrase survival was so high that like this fire was snuffed out like moments
Yeah, that's
ago.
what I figured.
Yeah.
And you have a feeling that the note was supposed to be burned,
Right.
but user did not have time.
We should probably keep an eye out. They may be setting up some other ambush somewhere else.
We should probably not follow their tracks literally,
Yeah.
because then we will run into them for sure. And
Or
traps.
the path. Maybe stay off the path also.
Let's do our own. Let's make our own route and parallel maybe to the path. Might take a little longer.
Well, can
but we might
Dare?
be safer.
How high can Dare? Does Dare fly?
Hmm.
Can he go above the tree line so that we follow him like parallel but a good distance away?
Could do that, yeah. I can see, but what about, you could send your bird too, couldn't you?
Don't you have a crow?
Oh, he's like I said, he's booked. He's booked and blessed, right? So he's probably at his 1 o'clock right now, I think.
Which would be
So-
what? What is his 1 o'clock?
Crow.
Oh, he's like a guidance counselor to other blackbirds with size issues. It's like very important. It's a very important job.
Hmm.
So
That's
I don't
really
wanna-
noble.
That
yeah,
sounds,
when we met, he told me it was.
he
it's
told you.
important. So, yeah, we have it's like an eye contact thing,
Hmm.
and it's so and I get it. I
So
respect him.
he told you that he's a bird
Yes.
counselor with his
Yeah,
eyes.
yeah. Correct.
All right,
correct.
I'm gonna just walk off.
I love
and
this.
I'm gonna
Okay,
send Dare
awesome. Yeah, brilliant.
up into the air. Dare into the air.
Dare.
Dare into
up
the air.
Dairy
Up
air. And gonna try to have Dare keep an eye out. Not the
Mhm.
best at surveilling, but
Okay.
we'll see what happens.
Great.
And I said, do you want to stay off the path? I'm assuming maybe we go to the other side as the tracks.
Exactly. Might slow our pace a little bit, but it might be safer.
Do you hear that? That's probably Crow having his meeting. Yeah, yeah,
That's it. You could pick his voice out.
yeah. That's
Oh
him.
my
God, he's
God.
good. He's so good.
Cheep, 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 cheep. Oh my god. All right, so Dare flies up
You
and
worry me a
past,
little bit.
past the tree line, right? Trees here are
Yep.
pretty darn thick. Just floating around, looking around. Are you having Dare do like a perception check for anything in particular? Or
Just
the
anything
aerial sentry.
kind of more sentry in terms of if there's anything that looks like it's going to try to ambush and or kill us. If he sees a pack of humanoids, hiding in bushes or whatever, he's going to kind of keep an eye out for that. He can also stay like through the trees. He's kind of in the air form. He's a little more
Does
wispy.
it, I forgot, does it communicate with you in some magical way?
It does in the sense. How does that work?
I
mean,
just thought
it's
it
just
could go see,
fine,
like fly up, figure
familiar.
out where the path is, and then keep us parallel to it, so we would like visually be following him.
So I believe it can speak to me telepathically. Let me make
Much like
sure
Crow
though.
Oh, we
can.
said like it, but it does like feelings. Like it's not like
Yeah,
words,
so I don't
words.
think it's gonna be words, but
Okay, I mean,
let me
as it
just make
flies
sure.
up there, it kind of just like you get the feeling like it doesn't really see anything interesting.
Okay.
Sees some birds in the trees.
Mm-hmm.
Occasionally, it thinks it sees Crow.
Man, it doesn't because Crow's
How does
gone.
it feel about if it's communicating emotionally? How does it? How do you know it's soccer? How does it communicate that emotionally? What does it feel?
Just feeling.
Confused?
Yeah.
Just
Got it.
serene, just like pure bliss of just flying through trees and darting around, and does a couple like loop-de-loops, and at one point bumps into a tree, but it's air, so it doesn't really do much.
Nice. Yeah. it
So we're
doesn't-
just following him.
it doesn't see anything.
basically.
Mhm.
All right. So
Yeah.
if you guys are.
So while
you
just
said let's
while your familiar is
travel.
within 100 feet of you, you can communicate with it telepathically.
Yeah.
So-
Okay.
As long as it doesn't get too far away.
It just kind of realized that like it doesn't see anything, dangerous or abnormal to its knowledge. And you start, so you're not following the tracks, but you're kind of veering off, and then what you want to like kind of think you walk parallel with them to at least where you think they're going. Okay. Yeah, you guys can do that. You probably take let's say 5 minutes or something to kind of walk off at an angle, and then kind of steer yourselves more. Walking
are we trying to follow them, or are we trying to follow the path back without being on the path back?
The second.
I'd say, yeah, more the second one.
Oh, okay.
Yes,
Right now you're just like in the forest. There's no real path here, right? And so you have to follow the little map that you had. So either way, you're kind of sort of winging it to some extent because there's not really a path in general. So I would say whoever wants to kind of lead this expedition, definitely roll me a survival check. And if anybody else is trained in it, you could assist, or it's just him on his own.
I am trained in it. I can do this.
I think it's just you, Frey.
Great.
All right.
I just have the map. The map that I made on the way there is probably more accurate than the map we used to get there.
Yeah,
that's the only way that I could help.
8. All right. Yeah. So you say, yeah, it's this way, and you start walking through the forest.
It's definitely this way.
You keep walking through the forest, and probably
Frey's
about like
confidence is
an hour passes of just
There's no chance I'm ever in
huffing it, and nothing really looks familiar here, and yeah, you're just walking through forest, but you kind of look up at the sky every so often at least, and you're like, okay, well, if the sun's over there, it's this way, right? And some time passes, and just for the sake of it, roll me another survival check.
Can I help with that map at all?
A 22.
Doesn't matter. Doesn't need it.
22. You kind of get to like a slight, ever so slight clearing, and definitely doesn't look familiar. But then you look up, like, oh no, okay, the trees were in my way. Maybe the sun's over there. Ooh, we got to go in this direction. And you kind of reorient yourself. And if you had to think about it, you probably set yourself off, maybe 3 to 4-ish miles off course where you really wanted to go, and you think you maybe went a little too far north, so you might be further from town than you were previously. It's the cave. Oops.
I don't say that to them.
But yeah, so more walking ensues as you're trying to travel through
yes.
This forest
exactly
is
what I meant.
pretty thick, and it's not the easiest to traverse, and it just takes time, and the sun is just slowly drifting off, getting later and later in the day. But with your 22 in survival in this roll, you get yourself back on track, and the only thing is now you brought yourself maybe too close, and actually you do get to a spot where like, oh, I recognize this. This is where we came from originally. So you're on the path that Lennox originally kind of tried to track on the map that she like worked with. So you got yourself back to the path, and Lennox, just because it's your map, where you think you are on the path, and like this is an area that you sort of wrote down as like a little landmark, like, oh, the weird looking rock over here with this kind of weird L shape. And you're like, wow, rock. That was only like a few miles from the cave.
I don't say anything.
Nice.
We're really good at communication.
And you guys continue to walk.
I don't want to hurt his pride.
Eventually Chho flies down.
Exactly
and
where I meant to be. We wanted to make sure that we were going to stay quite a bit away from.
Maybe I subtly just sort of flip him the map and point to the marker, so that just between me and him.
He doesn't look, but he does. Kind of like the little side eye, like. Right? Yes, over here.
Exactly. I say, aren't I a good colorer? And then I take it back.
I'm a good colorer.
Your handwriting could use some work, but the color is
Thank you for that constructive feedback, Frey.
Of course, yeah. Yep. This way.
As you're walking, does anybody else investigate that note at all, or check it out, or have you all just sort of looked at it together already?
I'll be looking at it while we
I'd like
walk.
to open the satchel.
Oh, that's a good idea too.
So Jax, you're kind of just checking out the letter, and with it being a little burnt up, a little crispy, but you can kind of make out some of the burnt words on like weird there's like this weird discolored portion of the letter, or the note rather. Doesn't look like it's addressed to anybody. It just looks like notes about you three and this cave that you're going to.
Can I say
and sort of how to get there.
Can I tell him to compare that to his F's, just to check F's handwriting?
Yeah, I do that. I compare the two.
You
notes.
compare the two, and they're completely different.
They look really
not
different.
Not even close. F's handwriting is on the fancier side.
Just checking because he had the information about the travelers too, so it's making sure we're very cool.
Good point. This one looks a little more hastily written, a little more rugged, if you will. Yeah. So, but not nearly as nice. Yeah, and the letter, you make out some of the burnt parts. You're sort of examining it now that you're out in the light, and Frey's leading the way, so you don't really have to pay attention as much to what's around you. And yeah, it just seems like it's like a weird descriptor of you three, the cave you were going to, and kind of a how to get there.
A very subjective description.
Yeah, very subjective,
very objective. Yes.
And it does seem like hastily written, right? Like, so it wasn't
Like
well thought out.
Clearly,
that's kind of all you really glean from the letter.
Was there, other than the Scarlet Pinion, who else did we talk to about the cave? Was there a store or something that?
And
we
it doesn't
went to?
have our names; it just says physical descriptions of us.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no names.
They knew our names, so I don't know. Might still be them, but I
Maybe
think we did.
somebody sent them to find us. Maybe they weren't initially going to. Yeah, I remember the store, but I don't know if we've mentioned.
No, I don't think we did. Told them we might be caving though, so we got cave equipment.
That's true.
Yeah, but those two wouldn't. Those are good people.
Would I have
I
any
have a feeling.
Marriage
like,
issues.
inkling
good
of
people.
somebody in the town that might want to find us?
Jax is thinking really hard, like who in town would need to find us or anything like that, and really nothing comes to mind. You don't. Nobody at the town gives off any weird vibes necessarily. Even the Scarlet Pinion themselves, they definitely just seem like they were just having a good time after kind of earning a bunch of money, and seemed good natured to the for the most part. The ranger was a little sketch, and the artificer was a little wonky, we'll say, but the leader and the rogue seemed to be on the level, just kind of cocky, and they're excited to have money, but they didn't give off any sort of strange vibes to you guys when you guys were chatting them up or anything like that, though.
All right. Like, they didn't seem like they needed anything from us, so why would we assume?
No. Like their gear was fairly nice, and they didn't. They definitely have money because they were throwing it around for a few days in town.
And maybe worth taking a longer look at this ore to see if we can glean anything more specific about it. But I'd like to see what's in the bag.
All right. Do you open up the bag?
Okay. Yeah.
All right, Lennox. You open up the bag, and what you find is a whole bunch of coins. It does not explode.
Fantastic.
You find
Great.
it's just for simplicity's sake. There's copper, there's silver, there's gold in there. But like there's about 237 gold worth of coins in there. Like it's a hefty sack.
Nice.
Of coins.
We're
And
rich.
also in there, you find a couple of gems kind of floating around. They're probably worth, if you had to make a guess, maybe between, I don't know, 15, 20 gold each. There's like 3 or 4 of them in there. We'll say 3
Yeah.
just to keep it even. And you find
Great, nice even number.
Two bottles. One is, let's see, where is it? One contains a like an orange liquid that kind of like flickers occasionally, and on the top of the bottle, kind of like there's like some smoke, sort of like spiraling inside of the bottle, and it's
Okay.
like stoppered. It's stoppered with like a cork, and then you see another one that like just has like water in it, but it's like bubbly water.
Could I do some Arcana checks to see if I know what those are?
Yeah. You can roll 2 Arcana checks.
Can I assist her?
Oh, too late.
Oh, all right.
Sorry.
So having gone to school, and you've probably taken a potions class because everybody has to take at least one for pre-rack. But it was a while ago, and it was like very basic. But you get the idea that one of them definitely has something to do with fire, and the other one has something to do with water. But you don't quite remember their actual functions.
I probably would immediately hand them to Fry then. If they're elemental, it's like a fire and at least I know fire and water. I'd be like, hey, also, hey, everybody, money. And what are these?
She hands you 2 bottles.
I can take a look later.
I'm like, ooh.
And yeah, handfuls of money. Money.
I can take a look, at these
Yeah.
later. Are you?
And Frey, you also still have
quite a bit.
the wand in your possession?
I do.
Okay.
I figured that. I mean, I can take a quick look at it, but I figured in order to really figure out if and what it does, I'd probably need some time.
Ah, no worries.
But I can take a quick look at it.
Oops. No, I'm gonna take a minute. I can cast
Hey.
Identify on the wand.
Oh,
Because I actually have this spell. I'm like, let me look at this. And when I'm like, Freddy,
Oh.
I got you. Don't worry.
yeah, no,
And
that's fine actually because I don't have this spell. I don't.
I take the wand, and then Jax like rummages through one of his little like pouches on his belt, and he pulls out what looks like sunglasses to us, but they have like orange, and the lenses like have a myriad of colors that in the sunlight reflects. You can see like 7 or 8 different colors. And he just looks at the wand, and he's like, "Oh wow!" And like in his vision, he sees like magical runes and words above the wand. He's like, "Oh, cool."
Excellent.
Oh,
and this
that's
is just
interesting.
okay, so 1 minute. So you're casting the spell basically.
Mhm.
Okay,
Yep.
great. Yeah. So through your little glasses, you kind of like get like a
Waves it
little
around with your
rundown of what you think it is, and what comes to your mind eventually after studying the wand as kind of studying magical items is sort of your shindig. You understand it to be a wand of magic detection.
Sweet. I let them both know that that's what it is. Does it have charges?
Yeah. So just for you to know, it has 3 charges,
Okay.
and it regains 1d3 every day. At dawn,
Sweet.
and it basically you can spend 1 charge to cast detect magic from it.
All right.
That's awesome. And you said it gets back 1d3
D3.
each morning. That's amazing. I'm like, this is could be pretty awesome. This could come in handy.
Sounds very nice. I'd say one of you hang on to that. I can already do a bit of that.
Yeah, I'll take it.
Yeah, you want to hold on to it, Lennox? Keep it safe?
Yes, Nick, will you send me the description that you just wrote for it? Like the little things, because I missed
Sure.
the first part of it. Thank you.
Basically, lets you cast detect magic 3 times.
Sweet.
It has 3 charges, and you regain 1d3 charges every dawn.
Each morning.
Yeah.
Great.
So yeah, you guys got a bag full of money, a couple gems, and 2 potions from that bag, and you found that
That's
wand.
awesome.
Yeah, whoever got smushed had stuff and no longer does.
Well, I mean, they're smushed. They don't really need it.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So, actually, Jax, why don't I give these to you, and I hand Jax the potion and say, if you wouldn't mind later, maybe we can look at them together later on.
Sure.
But
That's cute.
yeah.
Yeah, that sounds great. I got a orange potion and a blue potion.
I think Lennox is going to spend time counting to make sure she can spread it out evenly, the money and the gems.
Mm-hmm. Sounds good. Yeah, you guys continue walking. Joe, roll me one more survival check. And Nick, roll me a d20.
15.
Natural
Ooh.
20.
Yay!
All right. So an ancient red dragon. No, I'm kidding. Yeah, great. So for with a 15, you with having gleamed a little image of the map now, you
I don't know what you're talking about.
yeah, exactly. You steer the party more towards the direction of the town now, and travel goes fairly smoothly from here on, and you do get to a spot where the sun's going down. Y'all getting a little tired now after walking, and also some of the encounters you had today, and it's starting to get a little dark out. So you start looking around for place to probably camp, because you probably don't want to walk the whole night.
No. I will, as we're walking too, as part of the conversation we have, just bring up the person who wrote this probably doesn't know that we know. So maybe we keep this a secret and don't say anything, and if we come back to town and someone's surprised, maybe that's a bit of a clue.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
So let's keep this between us for now.
Great.
Yeah.
That's the word.
Do you want a check to find a place to camp, or what would you like?
I mean, there's plenty of trees here. If you want to try to find what you think is a more advantageous spot to camp, then
Absolutely,
we may do that.
I do.
And roll a survival check.
13.
13. Here's as good a place as any, and you find a place that, just like the trees around you, are relatively thick. You find a sort of like, not a hill, but just like the terrain kind of it has a little upward incline towards your back, and you find an area that you say, heck yeah, we can probably set up camp here.
Heck yes, we can set up camp here.
I trust your judgment, and I take my pack off, and I'm like, okay, all right.
I say you guys want to see something cool?
Yes.
Okay. So I think Lennox and her mom used to, I just thought of this. I think it's really fun for flavor. Wherever we're going to put like the campfire, Lennox uses the Druidcraft dirt thing to like scoop out. I do this at the beach to scoop out an area so that we have like seats all around it in the dirt, basically. And then like a little wall. So when the fire is on, you can make shadow puppets on the wall.
Oh, that's nice.
I make us
Awesome.
like a cute little ring to like, and then I can do all those stories I made you guys listen to on the way up about all the scary things that happen. I've got shadow puppets to match, and I act them out just with the hand.
I love
Yeah,
it.
you push away this dirt, kind of making like a little stage, almost a little stage wall.
Yeah.
And you set up like chairs, dirt chairs for people to sit on, and Jax and Frey probably set up the tents nearby, and and it gets a little dark. Sure, somebody goes and gathers some wood and sets up the fire and gets it going. Plus, one of you can cast bonfire, can't you? So like
We all can create fire.
yeah, everybody can cast.
Firebolt.
Yeah,
I just have Dare, who is
you
fire.
gather a bunch of sticks, and Dare just goes and stands in it while you guys like bombard it with like some fire spells. And it's like now you have like this huge fire going, and you're like, all right, cool. And yeah, and it slowly starts to turn to get dark out, and now it's camp time.
Act 1, Cyberboy and Rockman.
I'm just waiting for our enemies.
Gonna never be able to use that form
Traditional
again.
girl and waterman.
Jesus. So yeah,
Never raging again.
never raging. All right. With Lennox wows you with her shadow artistry. Her
Can I
puppet
do a
artistry.
performance check?
Go for it. Yes, you may.
I would
Shadow
argue
puppet.
with advantage. Because
I will because you set up the stage.
Don't
I will
need
give it to you.
18.
Don't need 18. I mean, she doesn't. You didn't know those little hands can make so many different figures with the shadows and the wall. And
Crow was especially good. I've
yeah,
been
Crow
doing
was
Wow.
this
especially good.
While this is
nemesis.
happening, I lean over to Frey, like we're just both watching, and I'm like, I didn't think she could make a displacer beast with those tiny hands, but it actually worked.
You know, I would never say this to her, but some of this is actually marginally impressive.
And as
Yep.
the night goes on and the story progresses, you guys, kind of make some food and eat while she's like
Dragon breathing fire.
Did this thing happen? Eating and like trying to do the shadow puppets, and it starts to get really, really late, and just thinking we should probably turn in. Who wants to take first watch?
I will, and I put Lola on patrol as well. Like, you both can rest for a little bit. I'll keep watch with the fire that we have left.
I will switch Dare back to air, and I will say, stay with Lola. Just keep an eye.
Little wind wispy thing just kind of follows Lolo around, but up in the trees.
Sounds good.
Hit you in the back of the head, and you just like your hair gets blown forward.
Oh, and actually, right before we start, can I just retcon this really quick? I ask right before they go to sleep. I ask Lennox to use the wand on the 2 potions. I'm like, just use this wand on these 2 potions.
No.
You'll know what they are right now.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, isn't the wand is detect magic? That's different than the identifier.
Oh, that's true. It's not identify. It's detect magic. You're right. I don't do that.
But can you do it? I can
do
though.
it
Give
as
you.
a ritual.
Hmm.
I
What's
believe.
your armor class, Nick?
An 18?
Oh, never mind. You don't need me. You're good.
I believe it's a ritual.
It is, yeah, it's a ritual.
Yeah. Do you have a pearl?
I don't. So then I'm gonna not do it.
Are any of the gems in the bag of pearl?
Examine the gems.
Can we use a gem instead? That's worth. I know that they wouldn't even be worth 100 GP.
They're worth like between 10
yeah,
and 20
no.
GP each.
Then I don't do it. Sounds
That's
good.
ridiculous.
So we're gonna have to get you a
Capitalism.
pearl then.
Gotta
I
go
will
to the
say, isn't
pearl
there a
store.
way to use your Arcana check to attempt to identify with it while you are kind of chilling with the item for a
Is
while?
that a home rule? I don't remember if that's a
remember.
rule.
Yeah, we'll just leave it out for now. We'll have to go pearl someday.
I have to get you a pearl.
Yeah.
Lennox, I'll drink it. Just kidding. let me
That would be
taste it.
Awesome.
It's just fire. It literally just
sick.
burns you.
Oh, spicy.
All right. So you two go to bed, and Jax, it's you, and you're watching out. Give me a
Sounds good.
perception check.
Sounds good. $23.
So you can only really, of course, you can only see what is around you with the firelight. But now that the fire is kind of in a sort of dugout, it actually kind of limits the light outside of the camp a little bit, which is unfortunate. But you don't really see much. You definitely hear the wildlife around you. Occasionally, you hear, you have to assume something small like a squirrel or something, some type of rodent, running through the brush. And you occasionally do hear wolves' howls in the distance.
Apparently.
Yeah, and your watch does go pretty uneventful though, which is comforting. And Lola just stomps around, and you see, well, you don't really see Dare, but you hear him whispering through the air occasionally.
I'm like, when I'm feeling like my watch has ended, I go over to Lennox and I just gently wake Lennox up, and I'm like, hey, it's time for a watch.
Okay. I'm ready. Yeah, I'm ready.
You're good?
Yep. Yes.
All right, Jack's bed's down for the night,
go
and
lay down,
Lennox,
I take my
you
armor off.
you come on out. What do you do?
I sit outside the tent and I see if there's any danger, and then I shall work on my comic.
Awesome. Roll me a perception check.
Ah, yes, that tracks.
Yeah,
It's a beautiful night.
Little noises, little. At one point, you over the fire, you do see an owl just fly right over camp. But it makes barely any sound. You just happen to be looking up and it just goes right across your sight, like, oh god. Yeah, everything seems kind of fine. Roll me a performance check for your comic book. You know, it's kind of dark out here.
You know,
It's
look.
pretty dark out here. And
It's a working progress.
yeah, you know, Lennox is good with maps, but like the skills don't quite
People.
translate to like,
It's
you know,
hands.
writing.
Hands are tough.
Yeah, hands are tough.
I cannot get the hands right.
But you know, the gist is there. You know, one character looks more robotic and the other one looks more like a rock. And
Looks like a pet rock. He turns
it's
into just a rock with eyeballs.
And you know, it's a start, right? Every project has this is the concept art, and you know, after like an hour or two of just kind of doodling and watching for noise, Lola just, you know, walking perimeter anyway, so you feel relatively safe in that sense. You know, your time passes and time for
I'll go get
Frey.
Frey. Frey,
Yeah.
your turn.
All right.
Have fun.
Always.
oh
my
Lennox instantly goes to sleep. Where did Lennox leave the notebook out, or does she have it with her?
No, not yet. It cannot be seen
Okay.
yet.
Ray, you snap out of your meditation. Dare still wisping through the trees, occasionally stopping and you know, looking around. At one point, because you have dark vision to some extent, and
I do.
kind of close by camp, you notice that a deer is just like eating some of the shrubbery off the ground, and kind of like looks at you, and then kind of just jolts off. Lola's still stomping around. Why don't you give me a perception check?
22. I have my book out too, and I'm kind of flipping through pages, but also like keeping an eye, flip. Keeping an eye.
Yeah, and during your 4 hours, so that was a good perception roll of 22. I'll just let it slide. You just hear normal nighttime woodland creatures. Nothing else approaches your camp, and your watch goes pretty uneventful. Do you do anything else during your watch?
He tends to do this during downtime. He pulls out his book and he studies some of the spells and things he has in the book, and kind of goes through them, and almost nobody's there to see him do this, but so it's almost like a meditation in of itself in a way for him to go through this. So he's kind of meditating while looking at the book, not sleeping, meditating, but while also just keeping an eye out, and helps to kind of keep him focused on what he's doing. So he's doing a lot of that.
Roll me. This is for fun. Roll me.
Sure.
Let's see.
I like fun.
Roll me like just a wisdom check.
Wisdom check?
Yeah.
Sure. 15.
Okay. Yeah. Nothing really happens. You kind of just have like some slight thoughts of your past, and you kind of just get like a little depressed.
Yeah.
A little bit. But you kind of like shake it and like don't really think too much into it right this moment, just because you're out here camping at least.
Little automatic thoughts popped in, kind of.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and since you're already, you're kind of focused on observing and reading your book, you kind of like push those thoughts out for a little bit. And the sun starts to rise, and it's probably time to try to wake up your friends.
I go wake up Jax first. And just say, we've got to do something about her snoring. If there's anything out here that's trying to kill us, she's basically a beacon.
He goes like this, and he's like, "Wait, hold on a second." And you see him take these two like cotton things out of his ears, and he's like, "What were you saying again?"
And I just go. I shake your tent, Lennox. Yeah, we're gonna have to do something about you while you're sleeping.
Okay, first of all, it's totally cool that you're into that. And I think it's really beautiful that you want to talk about it like right here, right now. But I think just be friends while we're doing business dealings.
I don't. I honestly don't even know if we should do that.
He said he said sleep stuff.
No.
He
I
said
said you need
sleep
to.
He meant the noises.
You are so loud.
Oh, yeah.
Is this like a medical issue? Like, are you concerned
Jax,
about this?
roll me a medicine check.
Medicine check.
No.
She has sleep apnea. 15.
Just deviated septum from,
Deviatum septum.
some wild magic accident.
But if we fixed it, I couldn't do this. And she holds it and she can whistle through a nostril. And I'm not giving that up.
That sounds like a win-win to me. There is a high probability you're going to get us killed one of these nights. So.
Okay. Does anyone have the cone of silence?
No, actually, Frey, the things you saw him take out of his ears, they weren't cotton. They were these little, like, almost like little gummy things. Like if you chew gum and it's just like a little ball.
Oh, like a little, yeah.
They're like these little, like, bouncy gummy things. And he's like, I'll see if I can make you some of these also. They do help.
I mean, as incredibly irritating as it is, I'm more concerned about, if there's a creature out there that wants to turn somebody small into a snack.
Well, I've been known to snore less when I cuddle, so any volunteers?
No.
Oh.
Didn't think so. Okay.
All right.
Moving on.
Move it or lose it, people.
Dear gods. All right. So with the morning starting, you start
just
to
grabs
pack
a
up
pillow and just
Jesus.
sleep.
Great. Like I said, we are just
getting dark. Sun's going down.
Dear God. All right. You guys.
I would say Friends is pushing it. Let's not get ahead of ourselves.
So you're saying there's a chance?
No. There's no chance.
Okay. And then she walks away and she goes, Rock boy! Rock boy!
And you guys start to clean up the campsite. You make sure this fire's snuffed out. You take the dirt, kind of push it back down, and kind of cave it in a little bit to honestly gets rid of the traces of the fire altogether.
Yeah.
And you get your tent set up packed up and all your stuff, and you guys can start being on your way. Who's gonna try to lead you back to Riverton?
I mean, I've been doing a great job so far. So
Great job. Let's go, Frey.
Can I aid Frey in the tracking?
Can you?
Can I? Do I need to be trained?
I'll do
in
my
survival?
little weather check.
I believe you have to be trained.
Okay. Sounds good. Thought I'd ask. Then I cannot.
No, survival check.
Can I help him with my map? Can I give him the help action with the map?
You may. I would say yes. You can use the map and actually be like, hey, this is where we are. This is where I believe we are. This is where we gotta go. What do you think?
What? I left the map out during his watch.
That's awesome.
Okay.
Comment the map.
So once after you leave if you left the map out during the watch, you see when you get it the next morning, all of the places that weren't named, you can now have this like very flourishy written name into each place.
I love that. That's cool.
Which, as he was kind of reading it, he contributed a little bit.
I love
trained,
that.
Trained in calligraphy, Frey? You should be.
Yes.
Yes.
Oh, so is
That's
Lennox,
awesome.
but her handwriting is a nut. Like
Yeah.
if her snoring was handwriting.
And he bring you the
That's
map
awesome.
the next day and say, when you write the names, you probably want to do it more like this. This is the kind of totally mansplains how to write to you.
She just goes, Faye, this is
Wait,
beautiful.
are you guys connecting over Handwriting?
No.
After he
no,
tried to
no.
suffocate me
If
with my
she's
pillow,
going
I think he really
to-
had a moment.
If she's going to do this, she needs to do a good job. Otherwise, what's the point? And he hands her the map and continues
He's
on.
not
But we'll
wrong,
take his
Jax.
advantage.
Take
For
this
survival.
seriously.
You can get advantage because you basically studied the map.
16.
16.
Nice.
Yeah, I mean, you keep yourself pretty much on course, and it's you didn't need a what do you call it? You didn't need Druidcraft to tell you that the weather was nice today, because it is another clear morning as you wake up, and which helps the travels because it's not too cold. Still a little chill in the air, and the ground is still, moist with the rain that happened only a few days ago.
My favorite.
Yep. And you forge your way through the forest, and eventually you start to takes a couple hours of just walking through the forest, and this is day 2 of travel. You did go off course the first day, which slowed you down a bit, but you think you're probably another, we'll say it's probably you traveled about half the day. Nothing really exciting happened. You guys probably just had a couple conversations. Lennox is still counting out the gold on how to split it properly, and
It's taking
probably
you a very
another-
long time.
No, I split it up already. I counted it the day before. It's split. Here.
So, what is it split into?
How
This
much is
Joe
it?
asking.
We
It
each get a
was what?
gem because there's 3. And
Okay.
it was like
Mhm.
254.
230.
What is the total? Wait, let me see if I can do it out. So that
I
it
don't
says
remember.
3. It's 24. This is 7, 8.
Was
One.
it 254?
It is now 1,
Sure.
4.
It is
Didn't write
now.
it down. I'll be nice to you.
I thought, yeah, it sounds right.
Hey guys, how many times does 3 go into 254?
Walks away.
No, I think
All
it's
right.
like we get like 83 gold each or whatever worth each, and then 1
That
gem
sounds fine.
per person.
Sure. Fine.
Say,
Go for it. I'm gonna have to watch the video back now to see how much I said the first time. That's okay.
254
It's
divided
now
by 3
254.
is,
50
yeah.
something.
you can say 884, and Lennox, if you want to do the 85, you can have the extra gold.
A tip.
Baller.
It was for my puppet show last night, wasn't it?
No.
Yep.
It was so you don't
Thank
do
you,
it again.
See, guys, we have a rapport. This is rapport we're building. And Lennox is saying this out loud as we're getting back.
Not rapport.
And
Please.
Like rapport to me.
you
Stop.
that's like midday. You guys split up the gold. You guys get your gold and your gem. Who's Freya's holding onto the 2 potions, and Lennox has the wand.
I have the potions.
You have the potions.
Oh,
okay.
that's right.
I forgot. Okay, so you have the potions. No worries. Yeah, you guys make your way through the forest, following all the landmarks on Lennox's map, which actually ends up saving you a little bit of time, as now you're a little more confident in the direction you're going.
Don't know what you mean. I've been
And
confident the
and
whole time.
eventually you reach that loggers camp that actually has a somewhat cleared path going towards the town. Now you think you're about 3 hours away or so, and it's the day's getting later. Not really ready time for camp. We'll say it's like 3-4 p.m. and since it's spring, it has been lighter out later. Still roll me one more survival check at advantage.
Sure.
Pretty low DC from here.
Hi, Nate.
Wow, and you still managed to
Hey.
mess it up.
This is all my. You know what? At this point, this is the low stress stuff. He's not really
He
paying
hasn't gotten a lot of meditation time because of the loud snoring. So it's
True.
Yeah.
He's a little.
affecting
You
him.
can tell he's got a little more of an edge to him today. He didn't get a whole lot of rest.
All right. 2 hours pass. You thought you were going in the right direction, but now you're in a place where you're like, wait a minute, this shit. this doesn't look familiar. How did we get off? This is not a path. And like, it's just like, you kind of looking back of you and like, you know, like there's a little bit of discoloration in the dirt, but it's like, you know, mostly grassed over. It's like, people have not walked this. Like maybe at one point it was, you know, maybe a little bit of a path, a beaten path, if you will. But now it's like, it's already grown over and you're like, oh, okay, what have I been following? Not paying attention. You kind of just veer, you know, like if you're hiking in Connecticut and then all of a sudden you just like, oh wait, oops, the path's over there. How did I get down here? Oopsie. Yeah, that's basically what happens here. And
turn around. I think your map is wrong. You should probably.
I think your feet are wrong, Frey.
I don't think that's a thing.
Oh wow.
Gosh. Can we send the
words.
flame up? Send the flame up.
Yeah.
Go little crispy.
Send Dare up. Little air form just whoosh, through the trees.
And do you look through his eyes, or
I do at this point, yeah, because he's frustrated.
So Frey kind of goes into his cataract eyes again with his little. And Dare's an air element right now, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Dare float little wispy floats up to the above the trees, and roll me a perception check.
Right. For Dare though, right?
So when you're looking through his eyes, you can roll your own perception checks.
Okay.
Just when he's doing something like investigate, like he is taking the action, it's his stuff. You can still be looking, but it's him taking the action.
Okay. That's fair. Okay, so perception, not an advantage. 19.
19. Dare floats up to the top of the trees, and you go into your warg state, we'll just call it, who cares. And you look through Dare's eyes, and Dare looks around, like, you know, looking in one direction, sees the mountain, starts turning around, and is that a little off in the distance? Because there's up pretty high, you see this dark smoke cloud. What is that? You look and you can see the town. You think you see the town, and you see this just dark smoke rising from.
Mac, if you kill my mom, I'll kill you.
Right back.
Okay.
We need to move. There's fire in the town. We need to go.
Oh.
I think that you would. This is the most serious you've ever seen, Lennox. Yeah. What? Okay, let's go.
Fire. We need to move.
Let's move.
Yeah.
Which direction?
This is where we will end tonight's episode.
No!
Boom. Damn.
If you touch Aaliyah,
I hope your mom's okay.
For you.
I was gonna go and say hey.
A hair on her head.
On her innocent head. With her boyfriend Seamus. She's just trying to live her life.
Oh yeah, we rescued Seamus back in the day too.
We did, yeah.
The
loggers.
Me and my mom connected about it.
Good stuff.
Oh man. All right.
Thanks, Mac.
Well,
Really
thank you everybody for joining us, for all our little listeners and viewers out there. I hope you like this. If
the
you
big
do,
ones
please
too. Don't be rude.
Like and subscribe. What?
All little list the big ones too. You don't leave people.
Okay,
out.
And
yes,
all
our
you
big
annoying little
listeners
girls
and-
out there, live your dream.
Yeah.
Be yourself. When a man calls you annoying, do not take it.
You still didn't
Right.
actually look at the handwriting to justify whether you think if it's a male or female writing. Either way, to
Oh,
presume.
we've already established that
presume,
phrase
that's pretty messed
calligraphy
up.
looks
But
better
anyway,
than mine.
all right.
Go.
Good night, everybody. Thank you.
Bye,
Bye-bye.
everybody. Thanks.
Bye.
All right, recording
great.
is
Annoying, Mac?
over. Let me go.
I think it was like very
didn't write
annoying.
that.
Like, actually, man.
He didn't. The character in the game wrote it, obviously.